I will tell you a little secret. Promise not to tell anyone else. I originally designed only 9 exercises in this chapter, but when I was writing out the code for exercise 9, I made a mistake in the code and it took me, I don't remember how many seconds, but it was certainly more than 0 seconds to find and fix my code and then, or fix the error. And when I did fix it, then I thought, I'm going to add another exercise just about this bug. Okay, so here was my mistake. This was just a simple, honest coding mistake that in the denominator, so when scaling the projection, in that formula, I scaled by T transpose T instead of R transpose R. And then here I wrote an easy mistake to make. Okay, so implement this bug to check whether it really deviates from the accurate code. Okay, and what can you do to check whether the result is correct or incorrect? Okay, so I'll switch to code. We will implement this error, and then we'll see if we can figure out why this is wrong. So implementing the code here to make this mistake is actually fairly straightforward. All we have to do is scale by the dot product of the target vector instead of the dot product of the reference vector. Now, I'm going to run this code without scrolling down yet, just to show you that this is still dark gray. It's not red, which it would be if there was an actual coding error. This is the most dangerous kind of coding errors because there's not actually anything wrong with the code. There's something wrong with the math, but there's nothing wrong with the code. So these kinds of coding bugs can be really dangerous because they can be hard to spot, especially if you have a lot of code that you're writing. Again, because Python doesn't give you an error or a warning. The only way you can detect and fix these errors and ensure that your code is devoid of these kinds of errors is by doing a lot of sanity checks. And basically that just means going through with simple cases, simple examples, where you know what the right answer should be, and yet you don't get the correct answer. Okay, so let's scroll down and look at this output. Now, here we see the two vectors. So this is vector t, and this is the sum of the parallel and the perpendicular component, and they seem to match. So that's okay, but that's kind of trivially the case, the way that I created these vectors. So what is not trivially the case is that the parallel component and the perpendicular component are orthogonal to each other. That is not trivially the case from these two equations here. And in fact, you can see here that it's not 0, it's small. The difference is small, but it's definitely not 0. And now this does not look like a rounding error. This is 0.004, that's way too large to be a rounding error. A rounding error would be if all of these were zeros and, maybe there's 8.6 at the end. So we can keep running it again. Here's even a bigger one. Definitely not a computer rounding error, right? So yeah, and then also when we look at the figure, remember these two parts. So this is vector t, this is t parallel, this is t perpendicular. These two vectors should be orthogonal to each other. They definitely do not look orthogonal in this picture, and the dot product is nowhere near 0. So this would be a way of two methods of sanity checking, an algebraic way of sanity checking and a geometric or visual way of sanity checking our code to make sure that it really is correct.